even though I founded this thing, maybe I should be chief brand officer. When I think about some of the top companies in the UK represent just valued at 100 million, Gymshark, Ben's business valued at 1.5 billion, Julian's business probably valued at a billion. I'm involved in some of these businesses in different ways, but the thing they all have in common is at some early point, the founder put their ego secondary to the success of the business. They said, actually, I'm not the best CEO. I should be head of brand or
A
marketing
product,
or
right?
product or whatever it is. And that's that mindset shift from being, I need to be right and I need to be at the helm of being right versus this thing needs to be successful.
And this goes back to the who, which is if you at some point, if you want to have a really ridiculously successful company, it will require more lifetimes of expertise than you can live. And so then it becomes a recruiting game. Like very quickly, almost all business becomes recruiting, which is how do I mean, if you listen to Zuck talk about it, you listen to Elon talk about it, you listen to Steve Jobs talk about it. Steve would talk about how the best players that he had in the company, he would set aside like a year to 18 months to bring them in.
Amen.
And he said every time I would, I knew who I wanted. And then he's like, I would take some calls with other people and I would just be like, but they're not John. They're not John. And so he would just keep working on them and working on them and working on them. And so eventually they're like, you know what? Fine. They like give up. And they're like, if this guy is this persistent, like he probably will be a successful entrepreneur and he will take us there. And I think that like people are the highest leverage thing that you can bring into the company outside of, crazy technology.
I am one of my favorite videos of all time is where Steve Jobs, who you just mentioned, talks about hiring truly exceptional people. And he says words to the effect, I'll play it on screen. He says, people think the success of Apple is a consequence of me and my talent and my skills. But what I've actually done is I've built my career, quote, on hiring truly exceptional people, doing the extremely hard work of finding them and hiring them. And this crazy thing happens when you do that is it propagates, i.e., A players then want to work with A players. They also hire A players and it spreads. I think it was this video.
I've built a lot of my success off finding these truly gifted people and not settling for B and C players, but really going for the A players. And I found something. I found that when you get enough A players together, when you go through the incredible work to find, 5 of these A players, they really like working with each other because they've never had a chance to do that before. And they don't want to work with B and C players. And so it becomes self-policing and they only want to hire more A players. And so you build up these pockets of A players and it propagates.